There's a lot of mastering advice flying around online, and a lot of it is complete nonsense. Today I want to break down 10 common mastering myths that keep getting repeated online, even by people that should know better. If you don't know who I am, my name's Streaky. I've been mastering records for over 25 years. Here's a quick little selection of some that I've done that you might have heard of.
I got a black ski mask, but I don't ski, but I snowboard, dash an MC off piste.
So some of these myths used to be true, some were never true, and some are just misunderstood. So let's get into it. Number 1. Ozone is only for beginners. Not these days, it's got some serious tools inside. It just depends how you use it. My favourite go-tos are the stabilizer, the low-end focus, the master rebalance, and of course the maximizer. All absolute peaches. I've done entire masters with it with no shame at all. So if you've been scared of using Ozone, get stuck in, you won't regret it. Number 2 is you should cut more than you boost with EQ. Well, that's not true in mastering because I hardly cut anything. I'm doing wide, tasteful boosts. Maybe a little cut here and there if there's a small problem, but it's very tight cues when I'm cutting. I tend to cut more in the low end than the top because when I cut from the tops it takes away too much. I'm more likely to boost there, or I'll do some low cuts and high cuts just to contain the mix a little bit. But I really try not to cut, I try to boost instead. Number 3 is MS processing is the secret sauce. It's more like a fire extinguisher than a seasoning, to be honest. It's really handy when something's wrong or when I want to add a little bit more width, but it's super easy to overdo it and completely ruin the whole mix for someone. So I only tend to use this if I need to get out of jail and I really can't get something done, just to sort of get in the weeds. But I always use extreme caution. Number 4, mastering is just for making the track louder. That's not true. Loudness is probably only 5% of the whole thing. Good mastering, you should be getting a cohesive, balanced sound. The job is to get it to the media it's going to, the streaming services, and present the mix in the best way. That's what the job is. It's not about getting it loud and smashing it to death. Number 5 is always use multiband compression. So you should only use multiband when you need to, just for taming rogue frequencies and holding them together. If you use it across the whole mix all the time, it can sound really wild and over-processed really quickly. So anything like this where you see someone going crazy with it, it's probably not the best thing to do. I tend to use it a lot for the low end and the super highs, just to kind of, if I've got de-essing, things like that, or if I really want to grab the low end and pull it together. That's kind of my go-tos. Across the whole mix, it just sounds really too much. If you're enjoying this, please make sure you like and subscribe and let me know in the comments anything that you want to know about mastering, if you've got any questions that haven't come up in this 10. Let's get on with the next one. Number 6, you need a fixed mastering chain order. There's no rule book yet. Sometimes you go EQ, compressor, limiter, that's kind of standard. That's what you're doing with mastering, those 3 things, bit of saturation maybe. But I'll go backwards or sideways, whatever the track needs really. It's about using your ears, not using a formula and the same thing for every single track. Apply what the track needs, not what tools you've got. You wouldn't use a hammer to cut a piece of wood. Number 7, you should always high pass at 20 Hertz. Not always, sometimes it's just going to mess with the low end and it's going to mess around with the phase, lose the feel of the track. So not all the time. If there's nothing down there to cut, then there's no point in cutting it just because you've heard you should do it on every single track. It's about using it in the places you need to use it and not when you don't. Number 8, you should always be mastering to -14 LUFS on your meters. That's just a guideline and not a target. I prefer to master most tracks to -8 LUFS. And then I let the streaming platforms turn them down. I'm not mastering for an algorithm, I'm mastering for a great sounding track. Number 9, AI mastering will replace humans. It might work for demos, but when somebody wants taste, context, and feel, they're still going to come to a human mastering engineer. It's like suits these days. You can get one off the rack easy, but there's always people out there that really appreciate their suits and they want them bespoke, fitted for them. Number 10 is always mono the bass under 120 Hertz. Only do this only if it's needed. This is something you do a lot in vinyl, or if you're playing on a sound system that's going to go to mono, because if you have out of phase stuff in the low end, when you put it together, you're going to lose low end and lose that kind of whole bottom of your track. So that's why people do mono it, but that doesn't mean you should mono it all the time. Sometimes rock music, for example, sounds really good when it's got wide low end, and also dance music can sound good when it's like big in the bottom. So it's not a cut and dried thing. It's about using your ears, listening to see if there's out of phase stuff, and monoing if you need to. A lot of the time with dance music, it works really nicely, but use your ears, don't use it as a golden rule. If you believe some of these 10 before, then there's no shame in that, because I have probably believed them at some point in my career. There's no rules for mastering, it depends on the track. It's all about little touches here and there that build into a bigger picture. Only doing what's right for the track and not just because you've got the tools and know how to use them. If you want to learn more about mastering, then follow the links in the description, take my mastering accelerator, and you'll be mastering tracks better than you'll ever have done it before. Check it out, it's in the description below for more information. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, bye.